Thank you for this opportunity. Forgive me, I've got some cheat sheets because there's so much to this story. I don't want to get off track. You asked me who I am. Well, my name is Lynn Santa. I'm a cook, a writer, a filmmaker, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a former pianist, poet, pilot. I've addressed committees in the House of Commons, in the European Union. I have addressed tribal chiefs on primitive islands. But overwhelmingly, I am a wildlife warrior. And behind me is Mandy, a cheetah that was rescued from a snare by the Africat Foundation in Namibia, and that's me with her 25 years ago. Overwhelmingly, my mission in life, my driving force, the reason that I get out of bed every morning is to see the trophy hunting of endangered species banned globally and forever, and before it is too late, which is very soon. I guess that covers a bit of your following questions as well, insofar as what do I do and where do I do it? That said, those sound bites obviously have big stories behind them, but the one I would like to focus on today is my 20-year mission, my crusade, that I have named both with conviction and irony, Land of the Free. Now, this began when I was organising a fundraiser for the Africat Foundation in Australia 20 years ago. And Tippi Hedren, my dear friend, was coming out from Hollywood to front the event. And in the middle of organising it all, I received an email from a woman I had never met, never heard of, Meryl Harrison. Now, Meryl at the time was Chief Inspector with the Zimbabwe SPCA at the most turbulent and violent time in that country's history, the farm invasions by the war veterans. More than once, Meryl faced the sharp end of an axe for daring to intervene to save the lives of thousands of animals. And in fact, during this time, her twin brother was beaten to death. She had been working on an amendment to the Wildlife Act to ban the hunting of endangered leopard in Zimbabwe with the use of packs of hounds, which has several layers of cruelty involved in it. No sooner had she been successful than Safari Club International intervened. And this, I've learned, is what they do. And the more I learned, the more my blood boiled. These people really believe it is their God-given right to influence the policies of foreign sovereign nations, to overturn laws these countries have seen fit to put in place to protect their endangered species, purely so they can get their jollies, and to brutalize, and I don't use the word lightly, brutalize the best specimens of a dwindling gene pool. Safari Club International actually has a 44-page document, and here it is, fading in and out, that awards more points for the rarest animal you kill, the best specimen of an animal you kill, the most animals you kill, the most continents that you kill on, and perhaps worst of all, the most unusual method that you kill by. These points count towards accolades and awards among their peers, and these people include former US presidents, armed forces generals, senators, and billionaires. And if that isn't brutal and gruesome enough, they will craft their kills into dioramas, and I have seen this include a lioness and cub. This is a mother and child, for goodness sake. Any civilized person with a heart and a soul surely has to ask themselves, what kind of person proudly displays the corpses of a mother and child they have slain in their living room for all to see? Well, that's certainly one of the questions that we do pose in my Land of the Free project. Not so long ago, practices such as slavery, lobotomies, marital rape, chemical or even physical castration for homosexuals, and child slave labor were not only legal, but perfectly acceptable in nice society. Today, we consider these things abhorrent. So I ask, how long is it before we add to the stain of humanity in the history books this abhorrent, immoral, and just barbaric practice of trophy hunting, and especially of endangered species? So it is my mission in life to see trophy hunting go the same way as these other stains on humanity into the relics of the trash can of history. Anyway, back to Merrill. Like many, I felt helpless against such financial might and political power. But Ralph Waldo Emerson taught me, if one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded. Nelson Mandela taught me, it always seems impossible until it's done. And social media has taught us that the ocean is not an unfathomably vast body of water. It is made up of individual drops, and we are all those drops. Yes, this is a David and Goliath battle, but let's not forget something. David won. So, as you do if you live in a James Bond film, I went out and found myself some former Special Forces commandos, and I brought Merrill out to Australia to meet with Tippy and the guys I affectionately call Pest Control. And we planned a covert mission together to get visual and documented evidence as to what was going on. It took us 5 years to get that story out. I can't even tell you what was thrown in our path. So that took us until 2006. And in 2006, social media wasn't what it is today. And we were still a bit naive. We thought exposing the truth and making a noise would be good enough. We soon learned better. Over the following 10 years, I gathered new forces from both some old and trusted friends, such as Sir Roger Gale, a member of the British Parliament for 37 years now, the man who spearheaded the ban on fox hunting in the UK, Virginia McKenna, OBE, the founder of the Born Free Foundation, and of course star of that immortal classic film, and some new friends, such as Priscilla Presley, who has become an ardent supporter of this project and indeed an executive producer and appears in it, and James Gannier, who has become my right arm and my Hollywood-based production partner. I'm in Australia. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that earlier. And now we have a much more refined and much more strategic plan. And we also have South African-born Hollywood star Cliff Simon, Stargate's bad boy, as the narrator of our first film, second film, and hopefully star in the third film. Our first of 3 films is planned to premiere at this year's Cannes Film Festival. And it's the short non-fiction documentary. We have some hitherto never before revealed bombshells to drop in that particular film, but we're not firing all our bullets, pun intended, in the first wave. In tandem, we are going to be launching an interactive website called the Hall of Shame. And as I said, every drop makes up the ocean. Every one of you can make a difference. You must understand you are not powerless in any way, shape, or form. You can make a difference by speaking to the trophy hunters in a language they understand: money and power. If you don't buy from their businesses, if you don't vote for them when they run for office, you send a message. And if enough of you do it, it counts. But of course, you need to know who they are. Hence the Hall of Shame website. You will also have the opportunity to join our database, which will become our petition for lobbying. And we have seasoned campaigners already in place in London, in Washington, DC, in South Africa, and of course in Australia. The objective being to ban the transport of trophy animals on all modes of transport. Over 70 airlines are already, and to ban the export and import trophy animals in and out of all countries. And Australia has already done this, so good on you, Oz. The next film will be a feature-length documentary, and the third will be a dramatised feature film in the style of Mission Impossible meets Born Free. And of course, this all takes money. Unfortunately, that's the sad reality of life. We have been given full tax deductible status in the United States and Australia, and we have a PayPal link where anyone from anywhere else in the world can also contribute. And remember that Bernie Sanders made millions with an average of $27 donations at a time. Every dollar counts, every voice counts, every drop really makes up the ocean. We can make a difference. We must make a difference. And together we will make a difference. Together we are going to add a new species to the endangered list, the trophy hunter. Please email me for more information, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.